Hello everyone, this is Gage from Gundorian Smith, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys another Third Age Reforged online multiplayer battle replay. Now this one is a 2 versus 2 on the Pelennor fields. However, it is also the first battle replay that I've actually covered since 0.97 has been officially released. So if you guys have not gotten 0.97 yet, go ahead and go grab it. It's really amazing. I really cannot stop playing it. If you guys didn't already know, I've been streaming 0.97 pretty regularly. I'm also hoping to stream again this coming Saturday, depending on where you are. It might be today. But anyway, that's beside the point. First off, I would like to say thank you to Dio, who is kind enough to send me this replay. He's going to be playing as Numenor. Also, I should mention that I've got a 3 versus 5 Good vs. Evil Siege of Dale replay that I was actually in, that I'll be covering in an actual video like this shortly as well. Hopefully sometime this week. I'm not too sure though. I'd like to get out as quickly as possible, but of course I am kind of busy right now. However, I would like to, of course, upload videos, actual replays regularly once again, starting off with this one. So anyway, enough talking, we'll go into the army compositions, beginning with Dio. He's got 2 units of Belagir archers who have been recently added to Numenor. A little bit cheaper, of course, archers, but they're not super great. They've got a shield, so they have a little bit of a block chance in terms of arrows. Although against Isengard crossbows, they will still take a lot of damage. You can see Isengard actually does have crossbows over there. Regardless, he's also got a couple units of Belagir footmen in here, some cheap spears to just provide some nice armor. They're also mixing with some Belagir pikemen, I believe, some maybe like average, I guess, pikes. Not great, but not too terrible either. They don't excel, but they're definitely not bad. He's also got a unit of the Royal Legion of Armenelos, which is a multiple HP sword and shield elite unit for Numenor. Very scary, but because they are not AP, they can't do a ton of damage, but they do have very good stats regardless. So against normal units, they should do okay, but they are not AP, so you don't really want to throw them against things that have high armor values. In addition to this, he's got a couple units of the Romena Arabim, very, very good sword shield infantry, very sturdy, very good shield guys with armor. They're expensive, but they have got good stats, good skill, and pretty much everything good all the way around. He's got 2 units of them. So he's got, I believe, only 1 unit maybe of the Seafarers of the Demos javelins. I'm actually not quite sure if they're AP or not. Most javelins are AP, axe throwers are not. However, it might actually be slightly different for these guys. They might not be AP. I'm not quite sure about that. I don't remember, unfortunately, but we'll see pretty shortly, I guess. So looks like he actually does have 2 units of the Seafarers of Nindamos. Sorry, it's been a while since I've done a replay. I believe he also has a unit of the Narunar Royal Guard, the archers with 1 HP and some good stats as well, but I don't actually see them, so maybe he doesn't. I thought I saw him somewhere, but maybe not. Anyway, he's also got some cavalry over here. He's got a unit of the Pharazim Nobles, multiple HP melee units, so not great off the chart, but they are very good in melee against other cav. You can see there's his general right there. He's got 2 units of Lancers here in the form of the Romena Caribarim. Very good, very well armored with good shields and good shield values as well as good charge. And over here we have got his ally playing as Dol Amroth, who is Misery Cordy. He's got 2 units of the Dor and Ernil archers, pretty standard to average human archers. 2 units of civilians here to back them up. He's got a couple units of Edhelm halberdiers on either flank, good AP polearms. Those are a couple units of Dor and Ernil pikemen in the front. Looks like they will be able to get shot at by the elves over there, but there are some units of Edhelm and men-at-arms back here as well to provide them with a little bit of armor. In addition to this, Misery Cordy also has 2 units of Parrot Hill champions who instill fear into enemies, and because of their great swords, they have very, very good attack stats. However, they do not, of course, have shields that are weak to missile fire. They're not AP, but they are very, very skillful as well. He's got 1 unit of the Haven Knights melee cavalry with multiple hit points. That is going to be his general's bodyguard. He's got 2 units of the Lancer Knights of the Silver Swan. And over here he's also got another melee cav unit that is the Swan Knights. That'll pretty much do it for the armies of Team 1. So we'll now go over here to the first of the other team's armies, which is commanded by Silver Banshee, who's going to be playing as the Realm of Imladris. He's got 2 units of the upgraded Noratino warriors here. Of course, Elven archers are always going to be very good. You can see they've actually... yeah, they do have an armor upgrade. It looks like they've actually been changed to having a couple axes in melee instead of having just a sword like they used to have. So they might actually have some decent stats in melee as well. He's going to have the Elrenway archers, of course, very, very elite, very expensive archers. He's got some Elrenway swordmasters backing up as well. And he's got a unit of stakes back here, so there's probably a hidden archer unit over here as well. For his mainline infantry, he's only got 3 units, oh no, 2 units actually, only of the standard Swords of Rivendell, but they do have armor upgrades. He also has 1 unit of the Spears of Rivendell, some cheap pikes. but they are Elven, of course, so they should do quite well, although they are going to be weak to skirmish fire. For cavalry, he's got one of the Imladris Sentinels, very, very good Lancer Cav, as well as a unit of the extremely scary Gwaith Rokdor, multiple HP Knights, very, very deadly and very expensive as well. Surprisingly, not bringing any of the Imladris Horse Archers, at least as far as I can see. Usually you always see those in Imladris armies, but not today. We also got a unit of the Bruinen River Wards, previously known as the Imladris Storm Guard, I believe. These have been given their armor upgrade. You can tell that normally they have the purple or kind of bluish look, but now they've got the nice silver and red look like the Storm Guard do as well, as long as you give them an armor upgrade. In addition to this, he has a unit of the Gwaith Arthin, multiple HP Spear unit, as well as a unit of the Gwaith Mirdan, a very elite AP two-handed hammer unit for the realm of Imladris. So very small army, but very elite, as most Elven armies tend to be. We've got a very squishy army from Isengard, being commanded by Sidious 307. He's got 2 units of the AP Dunlending Berserkers, 2 units of Urkai Crossbowmen, 2 units of Half-Orc Baneguard, 2 units of Urkai Pikemen, 3 units of Urkai Reavers, 1 unit of Urkai Berserkers, 1 unit of Nazkai, as well as a unit of the Champions of the White Hand, and a unit of the Ward Riders. So by squishy, I just mean he has no shields at all. Like, he's only got two-handed axes and pikemen, so he has absolutely no shields whatsoever, which is rather unfortunate for Dio, because if Dio had brought a lot more archers, I feel like he could inflict an absolute ton of damage on Sidious 307. However, we'll see how he does regardless. Also, I would expect Sidious to rush because of the fact that he doesn't have any shields, and he only has 2 crossbows in terms of ranged units, but we'll see how it goes. We're going to start the replay off itself. You can see Sidious is indeed pushing forward here, first with his crossbows. Going to try to get some good AP missile damage in on the heavily armored forces of Numenor as quickly as possible. Dio is going to return fire with his Beligir archers, hopefully into these crossbowmen who do not have any shields but decent armor values. And the Urkai crossbowmen should be able to withstand arrow fire from the Beligir archers pretty effectively, especially in loose formation. You can see that Sidious also has a couple units of the Snaga Skirmishers. You always want to bring Snaga Skirmishers whenever you're playing as Isengard or as the Misty Mountains, because they are extremely cheap, only about 350 florins, and they're extremely worthwhile as well. You can see actually a charge here from Dio with his Romena Karabirim. Going to charge straight into these Urkai crossbowmen. Oh, maybe? Yes, indeed, going to get a charge off into these Urkai crossbowmen, getting a good AP charge there, taking out a pretty nasty chunk of those Urkai crossbowmen indeed. You can see Dol Amroth is also going to be trying to help out Dio Shin over here by charging his own lancers into the crossbows of Isengard. So some good teamwork here so far from Team 1. Meanwhile, you can see that Sidious is trying to return here and trying to answer back with his own cavalry, some Champions of the White Hand and some Ward Riders, both very, very good anti-cavalry units. Swan Knights also charging to the Urkai crossbowmen now, but they are going to get charged by the Champions of the White Hand, and he's going to have to pull back these Swan Knights very quickly if he doesn't want to lose them, because there are some pikemen incoming as well. And you can see that Isengard is really pushing hard over here. Meanwhile, the Elves are kind of just sitting back, unsurprisingly. He has maybe made a bit of a push actually here with his Imladris Sentinels. Yes, charging into the civilians and archers of Dol Amroth, but taking a lot of losses it looks like, so probably not the best move in the world there. Actually, I think I'm going to go ahead and turn up the sound. It sounds a little bit quiet for my liking. There we go, that's probably better. Sorry about that. Like I said, it has been a while since I've last done a replay. Regardless, Isengard not looking too hot so far in the early game here, only getting 42 crossmen left on this unit. It looks like some of his skirmishers also took some cavalry charges there. And the longer he just sits back and waits like this, the more loss is going to take to Dio Shin's archers, because like I said, this Isengard army is going to be very, very weak to skirmish fire of basically any kind. So he's going to have to rush very quickly, which is going to be difficult, I think, because his ally Imladris seems to kind of have an army that's going to just want to sit back most of the game, which it looks like Dio Shin might realize this and is going to be trying to be aggressive here and charge into this Isengard army, because if he knows that if he's able to take out Isengard early game, he'll be able to then turn and help his ally out against Imladris later. You see the Urkai Reavers charging headlong into the Beligir footmen. Beligir footmen are going to lose that fight very grievously, which is why Dio has got his Royal Legion of Armenelos here to help out. Or there are some very elite Urkai Berserkers coming in here as well as some other reinforcements from Isengard. Meanwhile, the cavalry of Dio Shin is not looking too hot. His Phrasing Nobles getting charged by Ward Riders, Champions of the White Hand, and the like. However, he does have, Seafarers of Nindamos here, getting some nice javelin volleys right into the flanks of these units over here. Beligir footmen actually routing, unfortunately, for Dio. So far, Dio not looking too hot so far in the actual infantry engagement. And I can see his Belgrade footman just routing off the face of the battlefield here. His Romana Arabim and his Royal Legion are trying to do their best, but against all this AP and polearms, they're struggling quite a bit. You can see a lot of skirmish fire coming in, some help, some support from Misericordia here, some nice charges right into the rear lines of Isengard here. And you can see the pipeline of Numenor is really not doing too well against this very elite Isengard rush here. So things are looking kind of interesting over here, a little dicey, I would say. Over here, they can actually see that Silver Banshee is pushing forward now. He realizes that if he sits back and waits, his ally is just going to get double teamed, and then he'll have to deal with 2 armies by himself. So he's going to rush here, and it's going to be difficult, I think, because you can see already he's taking a lot of losses to skirmish fire from Dol Amroth. And while he does have a number of elites, he's got a very, very small army, so I think it's going to be very difficult, I think, for him to be actually able to defeat Dol Amroth. You can see Dol Amroth is trying to move his lines here, which is actually probably not the best idea, because if his polearms are not in formation here, Imladris might catch a break and be able to get a lot of kills here really easily. You can see he's actually got some rangers over here as well. You can see Dol Amroth scrambling to get his pikes and polearms into formation, but if he's not careful, he's going to take a lot of losses just because he's not in formation. Meanwhile, you can see Dio trying to surround this push from Isengard over here. You can see over here on this flank, they're starting to push through a little bit, but now that Dio is starting to surround, they're having some trouble, especially with his cavalry constantly running around in the back lines. Meanwhile, Isengard is still trying to go around the flanks here. Their elites like the Hathor-Queen, or like their elites like the Nazkai, just going to be able to carve their way through these Romana Arabim, which is why it's a good thing Dio has got his own AP Lancers constantly recharging his lines. Isengard cavalry force looking very small. Champions will let him down to 10 men remaining. And all these War Riders getting cut down by some more Romana Carabin as well as some Seafarers of Mendamos. There are still some Isengard Javelins back here, though, doing some good work on those heavily armored units. But things overall are not looking too well, I would say, for Isengard. Oh, your archer's still back there. Ooh, but there are some scattered units kind of around here just doing their thing, I guess. You can see some Berserkers down to 30. The Dunlending Berserkers are also down to 74, so far not looking too great for Isengard. Ooh, the Romana Arabim, though, here, having enough. They did not want to fight the Nazkai for any longer, so they're going to go ahead and rout, and that'll be the end of that unit there. And it actually looks like that's going to be the end of pretty much the entire contingency of the Numenor forces over here as well, besides these 15 Royal Legion. So far, still looking pretty close. You can see some Paradol champions running around here trying to go after the javelins, but going to get charged by some champions of the right hand. Meanwhile, over here we've got some Seafarers of Mendamos actually from Numenor helping out against the very elite units of Imladris here. You can see there's only small pockets of Imladris forces, but where they are, they're just making huge dents in the Imladris forces. You can see the Gwathi Mird and their AP really serving them well here, also being backed up by some Gwathi Arthan. Imladris Sentinels down to 12. The archers of Imladris still doing their bit too, cutting down those wardens of Nimbledale. Meanwhile, over here, the highly skilled Bruin and River Lords also just carving their way through these poor Red Hand arms who are already thinking about routing. The Spears of Rivendell not doing too hot, they're not going to be able to deal with Bjorn and quite well, they're a little bit short of reach. Meanwhile, the Swords of Rivendell also not going to do very well against this heavily armored Amroth force that is actually pretty even against them, and because the elves are outnumbered, the Swords of Rivendell here will probably meet a pretty defeat. Oh yes, there is an elite over here as well, so a very, very elite army from Imladris. You got the God Helen Einar, probably butchering the name of course, but still, I'll do my best. Meanwhile, also over here we've got some Belgrade pikemen getting butchered by the Eldrenway Swordmasters as well as the Eldrenway Archers who are running back here. Again, the cavalry of Dol Amroth and the cavalry from Dol Amroth and Numenor really just proving super key here, just constantly getting recharged into the back lines. Numenor and Isengard are looking pretty close. Belgrade Archers are going to be able to deal with the lessons done on the Berserkers. But probably not going to be enough to help against these Urkai pikemen unless they're able to get a rout here. The pikemen are completely surrounded, but there are very few Numenor forces there, so they're going to have to try to rout them if they want to win that. Meanwhile, some Urkai Reavers routing. Hathor Guard getting close to it. So far, it looks like Isengard's probably going to end up losing this one. But they definitely inflicted a hefty toll into Numenor, as well as a little bit of Dol Amroth as well. Meanwhile, over here, the Paradol champion just getting absolutely cut down by the Eldrenway Archers. Eldrenway Archers is very, very good melee. Meanwhile, over here, yeah, I can see Dol Amroth's line just starting to crumple, just crumpling all along the line here. The elves just doing an excellent job pushing through. Their elite units just no joke at all when it comes to melee and basically anything in general. That is, of course, why they are very expensive and few in number. Nortino Warriors in melee here now as well. Oh, well, actually, I thought these were the Boquendi, but these are actually the Nortino Warriors. Okay, I had no idea. I was wondering why they had to. I was wondering where they were dual wielding. Well, over here we got some Edhelm Harpiers trying to beat these Godhelm Einauer, and they are AP, so they're doing a good bit of damage, but they're probably going to lose, I would say, because these are multiple HP units. But if they get some cavalry support, they will probably be able to cut down the last of these Godhelm Einauer. Well, with the Rookdor down to 5, the Numenor unit down to only 3, and this is Numenor's general here. There goes Isengard's general. But if Numenor's general dies here, that is going to be very bad, because his lower tier units are probably going to rout pretty shortly. You can see the general is bloodied up, so if Dio's not careful, he will lose his general here. Looks like he may be able to escape with him. Meanwhile, looks like Isengard is just about done for, with the exception of these Nazkai, but there are some Elden Ring archers over here really proving to be a thorn in the side of Dio. Up here we've got Urkai Pikemen thinking about routing. They probably are going to be defeated pretty shortly here, but that's going to be just about it from Isengard. Meanwhile, it's going to free up the Haven Knights and the few remaining cavalry from Misericordi to now turn to his own flank, which is definitely needed, because you can see his rear lines are now in danger of getting pushed by the elves. You can see the Gwythiarthand and the Elrenway Swordmasters be able to push into his back lines as well as outflank his main line of infantry here. So far, it's been pretty dicey for Golanlock. You can see the elites of Salvation are still up. 39 left on those hammers. For the back, which is a massive charge by another 28. The Spearman. Oh, yeah, there goes Numenor's general. That's not good. Ooh, looking close. You can see the elves are few in number, but they are definitely elite, proving to be a real nuisance, real difficulty for Misericordi to take out. And I think it's going to be close, because most of Dolarmoth's forces are pretty much taken out. You can't really tell because the Gwythiarthand are also silver, but basically just this chunk here is all that Dolarmoth has got left in terms of infantry, whereas Numenor isn't looking too good either. They don't have much infantry left as well. You can see he's actually... Oh, yep, there goes the Dolarmoth's general as well. That's going to lead to a lot of routing. Yeah, you can see there are already a lot of units shaken here. And a lot of the Dolarmoth cavalry is done for as well. And Numenor is not looking too hot either. Godhelm and Einauer down to 27. You can see the charges are definitely helping out here. Taking out a few more there. Probably going to be the end of that particular elite unit. Dornell Archers still running around. There are some Rangers back there as well trying to do their bit. You can see the Dornell Archers running away from the Eldarenway Archers, because the Eldarenway Archers would absolutely butcher them. Meanwhile, it actually looks like Numenor has lost this fight, surprisingly enough. Somebody admitted defeat. Was it? It might have actually been Dio. I believe it was Dio who actually just admitted defeat there. It looks like the advance of the Eldarenway Archers was enough to defeat what Dio ended up having left. Because it looks like, yep, the Nazkai and some pikemen are still alive, so that looks like the end of Dio. And now, Misericordi is now left all by himself. I think this will probably end up being a victory for Team 2, for the red team. Although, maybe not, because Misericordi still does have archers. He's still got a few rangers left as well. You can see some of his units are coming back from routing. But it's going to be a very, very close one, that's for sure. He's got cavalry. The question is, will it be enough? Does he have enough cavalry to deal with these remaining Imladris elites? It's going to be a very close one here. You can see there's going to be quite a few frames left, because basically the only way Misericordi is going to have a chance is if he plays this very safe, if he makes sure to use all of his remaining ammo left to him, including the Dornell Archers and the Rangers. He's going to have to use everything in his arsenal to even hope to make a comeback. 91 to 88%. You see the percentage is actually in favor of Dio's ally, or of Dio's team. Oh, a lot of the cavalry there go. Cavalry getting taken out though. Some routing because of the loss of the general. Actually, I bet that might end up being it for Dolarmoth. Maybe not though. They've got the numbers. He lost his general, but regardless, it looks like he's still got a number of men coming back from routing. His archers and pikemen thinking about routing in the face of all the elites, but the elites are starting to whittle down. They're starting to lose men. You can see the Rangers coming over here as well. If they're able to get some good BP shots, and that may just turn the tide of this battle. And over here, the Nazca and the Urkai pikemen just butchering the last of this unit of the Dornell Archers. And the pikemen once again routing, although the Rangers getting their BP arrows in here, trying to do what they can. but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. It's going to be very close, but I feel like Imladris will still probably be able to come out with victory in this one. Elrond Swordmaster is down to 20. With your Thunder still at 38, so yeah, I bet this will be a victory. I'd be very surprised. I'd be very surprised if this ended up being a victory for the blue team. For Dio's army. But still, not a bad battle at all. 93 to 93%. That's very close. Yeah, there goes some more units routing. The Gornal archers are going to follow. Yep, that's going to be basically it. The only thing left, looks like, are these 25 Wardens of Nimberdell. We're going to charge headlong into Nazkai to go out with one. We will not go out. They will not go silent into the night. They will instead charge straight at their demons that are the Nazkai, who will surely butcher them in a very short time. Some pikemen coming up as well. But yeah, very close battle, 93 to 94%. Big thank you to Dio, Shin, for sending this battle replay. Very good, very close battle replay. I'm very happy that it was my first actual official replay since 0.97 has been officially released. Again, like I said, there's a 3 versus 5, good versus evil. Siege of Dale that will be coming out shortly, probably in the next couple of days. So if you guys do look forward to that, please make sure to watch it. Anyway, Dio getting 1,923 kills, his ally getting 1,200, but that is pretty understandable because he was playing against Imladris. You can see Imladris actually only fielded 1,165 men. Sidious getting 1,400 kills. Very good battle overall. Pharazim Noble's not getting too many kills, but both of his other units of Lancers did very well, charging into those crossbows and Snaga archers. His Romena Abarim, the Sword and Shield Infantry, both doing very, very well. Surprising, which is actually kind of surprising to me because, like you saw, the Isengard army was mainly AP, so I figured his standard units of Sword and Shield Infantry would actually get cut down pretty well, but that really just goes to show how elite the Romena Abarim, actually are. Their armor and their stats really serve them very well, but they are, of course, very expensive in return for that. Belgier Footman not doing too well, of course. Pikeman doing okay. He did have Naru and our Royal Guard. I have no idea where they were the entire battle, though. Only getting 65 kills, so not doing too much, I guess. Seafarers didn't do too bad. One unit did anyway. The other one didn't do too hot. And the Belgier Archers got a lot of kills as well. But yeah, that'll pretty much be it for this one. Again, big thank you to Dioshin for sending me this battle replay. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, please comment, like, and subscribe. If you did not, just tell me what I did wrong, and I'll be sure to fix it for the next one. So farewell wherever you fare. Chill your eyes receive you at your journey's end.